stuff's been sitting out in the cold too, so gonna give it a little bit of time to do some expanding here. I'll tell you guys a funny story. I was airing up the wheelbarrow tire and checked it with the gauge, 30 psi, just like I'm doing these tires. I rolled it out of the shop here, and as soon as it hit the gravel out here, the tire exploded. It almost broke the window out of my truck. It bent the wheel over to the side, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me what had happened, why that tire would blow like that. Well, it turns out my air gauge was bad, and it's hard telling how much air I actually had in that tire. Now the gauge said 30 psi, but I got a feeling there was a little more than that in there. And it pushed the gravel out from underneath it, probably about 2 or 3 inches deep. Quite the show. All right. I've burnt probably, this is going to be, I'm going to say about 2 years worth of burning here in my brush pile that I always keep out. Like I said, if I'm doing any cleanup in the back, I never leave a fire back there where I can't see it. So I always bring the stuff out to where I can get to it. And but this wood ash has several purposes. Now that we've got everything burnt down from it, you can use this stuff for fertilizer for your garden. Spread it on thin. This is the perfect time of year, early January, I would say. Spread this stuff out on your garden, and this includes your fireplace or wood stove ashes. There's a lot of minerals in this, and you can spread that out and let it leach into the soil, and then by the time you get around to tilling up or plowing your garden, it will be ready for you. Now you have to be careful if you get too close into the planting season. There's salt, there's lime, that also acts as a weed killer. So if I want to leave this into a pile in various places, I can do weed management with it. So you would think, you know, just something as simple as burning up the wood back there and getting it out of the way in a controlled situation is one thing. And it's great to get that stuff cleaned up, but now I have a use for the ashes. Another thing you can do, if you want to take the time, all of this right here makes perfect charcoal for forging. I could actually come down here and sift through this and dig every bit of this charcoal out, and now that it's burnt all the sap and the bark off of the tree, it is what they consider smokeless. You put this stuff in there and add a little bit of oxygen to it, and you've got something you can really work with. Just set up a screen, sift through all the ashes, and I guarantee you, out of this pile that you see here, I bet I can get 30 or 40 pounds of charcoal out of here, or at least, you know, that size of a bag. So nothing goes to waste, right? Specifically when you're working your land and trying to get the most for it, you've already paid for this stuff. Use it, okay? Like I said, now if you're going to garden with it, late winter, get this stuff on the ground so it can leach in, because again, the salt and the lime, if you have it spread too thick and you plant too quickly, you can kill your plants. So be careful. There's a lot of research online on how to do this. I'm just showing you what I'm going to do with it today is some weed control. I'm going to put this over there by the leaf pile, if you haven't seen those videos, what to do with all the leaves and things you piled up. Again, it's time to move a little bit of it. The ashes are getting too deep. So let's shovel this trailer full and see if we can empty it out, okay? Like I said, guys, every bit of that's charcoal. Now, if you really want to make charcoal, you build a big fire like that and then just cover it right back over. Shovel this ash out of the way. Let your fire get started and throw the ash right back on top of it, and you can make every bit of this into charcoal. I have plenty of charcoal up at the shop, so we are going to use this for a different purpose. Now this grass you see I'm digging up here, that is 100% ash laying underneath that, and the grass is growing thick. I think our little trailer is going to tow fine behind the mule here. Alright, that's a respectable load. Let's take that up where we're going to get rid of it. Alright, and what we're looking at here is, that's an old foundation that was here when we bought this property. That used to be the workshop for this farm, and they built that in around 1920. So that foundation's been there for a long time, and when we bought the property, obviously everything was removed, and all we had left was a hollow foundation there. Too much to tear out, and what I've been doing is I've been filling this up with ash over the past 20 years, and as you can see, things don't have a problem growing through there. All right, we're going to dump this off up here on top of this foundation, fill up some more low spots, and make another circle. Well, it looks like the little hitch is going to work out just fine for the little red wagon behind the mule. Spread it okay, it wasn't bad. That stuff gets really sticky. But it's already turning back to dirt. You can see how rich the color looks. So again, I've been working on filling these low spots up in here for quite a while. We have had some dirt hauled in and different things like that, some rock in here. You wouldn't think about it, but you can even use the ash after you've burnt all it. If you're clearing property, after you get everything burnt down and condensed into a pile like I had down there, if you spread that back out across your soil, by the time you've done your project, you're probably going to have some really rich soil that you'll appreciate a year or two down the road, okay? I hope you enjoyed the story about the wheelbarrow tire exploding too, because I still find that one amusing. I hope this has been helpful for you in some way. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next video.